India's voice to the world. I'm Abhishek Mahajan, coming up in the next 30 minutes. Delhi to get its first Namo Bharat connectivity with the inauguration of 13-kilometer stretch of Delhi-Ghaziabad made at Namo Bharat corridor. India's Health Ministry convenes high-level meet amid reports of HMPV outbreak in China, says India well prepared to handle respiratory illnesses. At least 8 Pakistani security personnel killed in Balochistan bomb blast. Austria's Chancellor Karl Nehammer to step down after talks on forming a new government failed. In Sydney, Australia beat India by 6 wickets to reclaim Border Gavaskar Trophy, also secure World Test Championship final spot. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate and lay the foundation stone for development projects worth over $147 million in Delhi today, including the inauguration of 13-kilometer Delhi-Ghaziabad Meerut Namo Bharat corridor worth approximately $55.42 million, which will enhance regional connectivity between Delhi and Meerut. With this inauguration, Delhi will get its first Namo Bharat connectivity. This will significantly ease travel between Delhi and Meerut and will benefit millions of people through high-speed and comfortable travel along with unmatched safety and reliability. PM Modi also took a ride on Namo Bharat train from Saibabad RRTS station, Uttar Pradesh to New Ashok Nagar, Delhi. Prime Minister will also inaugurate a 2.8-kilometer stretch of Delhi Metro Phase 4 between Janakpuri and Krishna Park, valued at $14.46 million. Additionally, the Prime Minister will also lay the foundation stone for 26.5-kilometer Rithala-Kundli section of Delhi Metro Phase 4 worth $74.98 million, improving connectivity in Delhi and Haryana. Furthermore, he will lay the foundation for a new state-of-the-art building for the Central Ayurveda Research Institute in Rohini, costing $2.23 million. India's metro rail network now ranks as the third largest in the world, stretching over 1,000 kilometers. Prime Minister Narendra Modi emphasized the significant progress made in expanding metro connectivity across the country to transform urban transport. In a post on X, PM Modi said, and I quote him, "Over the last decade, extensive work has been done in boosting metro connectivity, thus strengthening urban transport and enhancing ease of living." India's Health Ministry on Saturday convened a joint monitoring group meeting in view of HMPV outbreak causing rising cases of respiratory illnesses in China in the past few weeks. The ministry said it is closely monitoring the situation in China through all available channels, and the World Health Organization has also been requested to share timely updates regarding the situation in China. The ministry further said that India is well prepared to handle respiratory illnesses and surveillance shows no unusual surge. It said the health systems and surveillance networks remain vigilant, ensuring the country is ready to respond promptly to any emerging health challenges. Now, India and Bangladesh are likely to exchange 185 fishermen and their vessels detained in their respective countries today. Dhaka agreed to hand over 95 Indian fishermen to Indian authorities. In a reciprocal repatriation process, India too agreed to release 90 Bangladeshi fishermen detained in India. Besides 2 Bangladeshi fishing vessels detained in India and 6 Indian fishing boats detained in Bangladesh will also be exchanged. Earlier on Thursday, Bangladesh authorities released the 95 Indian fishermen who were held in Bagherhat and Patuakhali district jails and handed over to the Bangladesh Coast Guards to carry out the repatriation process. The 95 Indian fishermen were in Bangladesh jails for more than 2 months. In a significant milestone in space exploration endeavors, the Indian Space Research Organization has successfully demonstrated its first robotic arm in space. Sharing a video, ISRO posted on X, RRMTD, India's first space robotic arm, is in action on board Poem 4, a proud Make in India milestone in space robotics, unquote. RRMTD was launched on PSLV C-60 alongside the SpaceX mission as one of the non-separating payloads on board Poem 4. It can be considered as an ancestor of the type of robotic arms that will be used on India's planned space station, the Bharatiya Antariksh Station, which is BAS. The success of this demonstration validates ISRO's technology and will allow ISRO to move forward with the development of more advanced versions of this for use on BAS. With this achievement, ISRO becomes the 5th space agency to operate a robotic arm in space. Prayagraj in India's northern state of Uttar Pradesh is ready to welcome devotees and pilgrims to the Mahakumbh Mela from January 13 to February 26. Mahakumbh is one of Hinduism's most significant and holy events held once every 12 years. It is the world's largest spiritual congregation, drawing millions of devotees from across the globe. The Mahakumbh is considered an auspicious period for spiritual cleansing and devotion. Pilgrims flock to the renowned Sangam, which is the confluence of the Ganga, Yamuna and Saraswati rivers, to take the holy dip. All preparations are in place by the government to ensure a divine and secure experience at Mahakumbh 2025. Let's now take a look at other stories making news across India. 426-meter long steel bridge built over the Ganga river in Fafamau has been completed ahead of the Mahakumbh Mela 2025. The bridge, constructed using 4,500 tons of steel, was built in a record 45 days for the magnificent Mahakumbh Mela. The bridge aims to facilitate smooth traffic flow for devotees attending the Mahakumbh Mela. It will provide an alternative route, allowing vehicles to bypass the city and directly access the Mela site from the riverfront route. Indian Railways will operate 13,000 trains during Mahakumbh Mela to cater to the massive influx of pilgrims. These include 10,000 regular trains and 3,000 special trains. These trains will be run over 50 days, including 2-3 additional days before and after the event. The railways have planned to keep the movement of people unidirectional to prevent chaos and congestion. Passengers will be directed to Yatri Kendra before proceeding to their respective platforms, reducing confusion and congestion. The Indian Railways successfully conducted the first trial run on the Katra-Banihal section ahead of the final statutory safety inspection next week to determine the commencement of rail services to Kashmir. The first train run thrilled passengers as it traversed snow-covered mountains, blending nature's splendor with engineering excellence. And the Indian Navy presented a spectacular display of its prowess and valor at Ramakrishna Beach in the port city of Visakhapatnam in Andhra Pradesh on Saturday. The coastline buzzed with fighter jets, warships, helicopters and tankers. The rescue operations, including combat demonstrations to save hostages from terrorists and rescuing people stranded at sea with the help of helicopters, fascinated the visitors. Paratroopers also amazed the spectators by unfurling the Indian flag and the Navy flag from a height of approximately 8,000 feet. On to weather news now. The India Met Department has forecast light to moderate rainfall and snowfall over Jammu and Kashmir, Ladakh and Himachal Pradesh today. Scattered rainfall or snowfall is also expected over Uttarakhand tomorrow. For the higher reaches of Kashmir is under red alert till Monday. The IMD has also predicted isolated rainfall accompanied with thunderstorms over Punjab, Haryana, Chandigarh and northwest Uttar Pradesh in the coming 2 days. The Indian Weather Agency also predicted a gradual rise in minimum temperatures by 2 to 3 degrees Celsius over northwest India over the next 3 days. It also said that there will be no significant change in minimum temperatures over central and east India during the next 3 days. In other news, French Navy aircraft carrier Charles de Gaulle arrived at Western India's Mormugao Port Trust jetty in Goa on Saturday. The French carrier strike group, which includes the Rafale marine fighter aircraft, will take part in the 42nd annual bilateral exercise Varun with Indian Navy ships. The purpose of the visit was to enhance interoperability, foster mutual understanding and strengthen ties between the navies of India and France. France and India regularly cooperate to contribute to maritime safety in the Indian Ocean region. Since 2008, France has been a member of the Indian Ocean Naval Symposium, which was initiated by India and brings together 25 navies. The aim of this forum is to increase collective effectiveness in tackling a range of maritime issues, including illegal trafficking, illegal fishing, search and rescue at sea, and pollution. And the Ahmedabad International Flower Show 2025 has begun at the UNESCO World Heritage City of Ahmedabad in the state of Gujarat. This world-class flower show showcases a harmonious fusion of Indian culture with natural beauty. Has more.
People in large numbers are visiting the International Flower Show in Ahmedabad. Started in 2013 by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who was then the Chief Minister of Gujarat, this show has seen great popularity over the years. Organized at the Sabarmati riverfront, this show is an annual celebration of colors, offering a blend of visual splendor and exquisite flower displays. This show also gives out the message of sustainability.
Every year I visit, but this time I've heard it's really going to be something very extraordinary, and they have been planning since before Diwali. So I am expecting a lot, and I think it's going to be very nice. Today is just the second day.
You get to see so many varieties of beautiful flowers meant just for the winter season, and we are expecting a spectacular show.
It's a very beautiful experience and a glorious arrangement here.
This is our first time at the Ahmedabad Flower Show, and it's been a wonderful experience.
The scale of the event, the kind of flowers that they have put in, the kind of sculptures they have built, it just shows that they have put in a lot of efforts.
In 2024, the flower show attracted nearly 20 lakh visitors and also earned a Guinness World Record for its 400-meter-long flower wall. The show has been divided into 6 zones, featuring over 10 lakh flowers, more than 50 species, and over 30 sculptures. Symbolic statues showcasing India's economic progress, 23 years of governance, inclusiveness and sustainability, unity and diversity, hosting the Olympics 2036, Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam, and many more installations depicting India's culture and development have been put up at the show. Use of technology has enabled visitors to make use of specially designed audio guides to learn more about the flowers, sculptures, and zones by scanning QR codes available throughout the flower show.
Here we had some visitors speak to us about their experience at the International Flower Show in the state of Gujarat, in the city of Ahmedabad. This will go on till the 22nd of January, and what will be at display is India's vibrant culture, heritage, and what India's growth journey has been. With my colleague Krishna Shah, this is Meghna Dev for DD India from Ahmedabad, Gujarat.
Still to come on this edition of DD India Live. Kyiv's halt of Russian gas throws Moldova into crisis. Moldova breakaway region faces extended blackouts. America's final salute to Jimmy Carter begins in home state of Georgia. And the 82nd edition of Golden Globes is scheduled to take place on Sunday, kicking off the 2025 awards festivities.
The delicate balance between human and animal coexistence has become a growing problem. Finding sustainable ways to coexisting together and thriving in a rapidly changing environment.
Tell them not to panic. Instead, they should just stand completely still and let the lions walk past peacefully. This is how we show respect to the animal and in turn gain its trust.
After the plantation of lemon trees, the elephants stopped entering the fields. They pass by the field boundaries without entering.
Poaching gangs and trafficking gangs that go after these elephants and capture them, things like that. And that's something that we are all up against.
We should try to modify the human behavior through education and awareness.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Abhishek Mahajan. Some more stories. Austria's Conservative Chancellor Karl Nehammer announced his resignation after coalition talks with the Social Democrats and Liberals collapsed on Saturday. Efforts to form a government without the far-right Freedom Party, FPO, which won September's election with 29% of the votes, fell apart amid deep divisions. Nehammer, who called FPO leader Herbert Kickl a conspiracy theorist, refused to partner with the party despite their shared stance on immigration. With no majority coalition possible, Austria faces two stark options: allow Kickl to attempt forming a government or call snap elections. The Conservative People's Party, meeting Sunday to choose Nehammer's successor, may now consider rekindling ties with the controversial FPO.
Following the breakdown of talks, I will act as following. I will step down as Federal Chancellor and also as a chairman of the People's Party in the next few days and facilitate an orderly transition. This orderly transition is particularly important to me because I have always stood for stability in our country and in People's Party.
Now, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken is on a trip to South Korea, Japan and France. Blinken's trip is happening at a crucial time when South Korea is facing a political crisis. On Friday, South Korea's presidential guards and military troops prevented authorities from arresting impeached President Yoon, who is under criminal investigation for insurrection over his failed martial law bid. During his visit to South Korea, Secretary Blinken will meet with senior government officials to discuss ways to promote a free, open and prosperous Indo-Pacific region, as well as trilateral efforts with Japan. In France, the top U.S. diplomat will discuss challenges in West Asia and Europe amid ongoing efforts to secure a ceasefire in Gaza. Now, at least 8 security personnel were killed and 40 others injured in a suicide bomb blast in Balochistan province of Pakistan. The blast, which took place in the Dang area of Turbat city on Saturday, targeted a passenger van and a police security vehicle adjacent to the van. Following the blast, police and security forces reached the incident site and cordoned off the area while the injured were moved to the nearest hospital. The separatist group Baloch Liberation Army (BLA) has claimed responsibility for the attack. The latest attack is part of an ongoing series of attacks by the BLA in Balochistan, which have been targeting military convoys, security checkposts and police vehicles. And in a deepening energy crisis, residents of Moldova's breakaway Transnistria region face escalating power cuts after Russian gas flows through Ukraine halted on New Year's Day. The halt follows Kiev's refusal to renew a transit deal with Russia, leaving Transnistria's thermal power plant without fuel to generate electricity. Without gas from Gazprom to fuel its thermal plant, Transnistria has extended rolling blackouts to 4 hours daily, leaving homes without heating as temperatures plunged to -10 degrees Celsius. Industries have shut down, sparing only food production as officials urged residents to conserve resources. Moldova, reliant on Transnistria's power plant for cheap electricity, blames Russia for the chaos, demanding gas rerouted through Turk Stream. Moscow, however, points fingers at Kiev for the impasse. Meanwhile, Transnistria's vital power supply to Moldova remains precariously disrupted. Now, Russia claimed on Saturday to have intercepted 8 US-made missiles and downed 72 drones while capturing a settlement in Luhansk. The Russian Ministry of Defense also reported multiple strikes on Ukrainian military sites, resulting in over 540 casualties and the loss of 4 tanks for Ukraine. Meanwhile, Ukraine reported successfully repelling Russian attacks in Kharkiv, Pokrovsk and Kursk, with several clashes still ongoing. Ukrainian forces also fended off 9 Russian attacks in Kursk. In a significant development, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken revealed that the U.S. had been supplying weapons to Ukraine since 2021, fueling tensions with Russia, which condemned NATO's military support. As Ukraine faces mounting challenges, Ukrainian Prime Minister Denis Shmyhal announced a record defense budget and plans for increased military production. And former U.S. President Jimmy Carter's state funeral began on Saturday with solemn ceremonies in his home state of Georgia, marking the start of 6 days of tributes to the late leader who passed away on December 29th at the age of 100. Motorcade with mortal remains of Carter arrived at Georgia's state capital, where dignitaries welcomed his family. The casket was then taken to the Carter Presidential Library, received by a military honor guard. Emotional tributes from his son James Chip Carter and grandson Jason Carter reflected on his life and enduring spirit. The mortal remains of the former president will be taken to Washington, D.C. on Tuesday. Following Tuesday's service in Washington, Carter will be laid to rest in a private ceremony in Plains, Georgia.
He was an amazing man, and he was held up and propped up and soothed by an amazing woman. And the two of them together changed the world. And it was an amazing thing to watch from so close and to be able to be involved in. And I thank you for your service.
Moving on, U.S. President Joe Biden has awarded 19 individuals with the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the country's highest civilian honor. Prominent awardees include diplomat Hillary Clinton, singer and activist Bono, basketball legend Irvin Magic Johnson, actors Michael J. Fox and Denzel Washington, among others. The award was presented at a White House ceremony on Saturday. The Presidential Medal of Freedom recognizes individuals' contributions to national security, world peace, culture and other significant societal, public or private endeavors. Sports updates now. We'll start with cricket. Big heartbreak for India as they have lost the Border Gavaskar Trophy after almost a decade with a 6-wicket loss to Australia on day 3 of the 5th and final test in Sydney. Australia chased down 162 with Travis Head and Boy Webster taking the team home. India lost the 5-match series 1-3. Resuming day 3 at 141 for 6, India lost their remaining 4 wickets for just 16 runs and they were all out for 157 in their second innings. Pat Cummins and Scott Boland shared the wickets in this session, with Boland completing a 6-wicket haul and winning the player of the match for his exceptional performance. Meanwhile, Jasprit Bumrah becomes the player of the series with 32 wickets in 5 matches. With this victory, Australia have also qualified for the World Test Championship final against South Africa. Team Gonastika secured their first win of Hockey India League 2024-25 with 3-1 victory over Hyderabad Tufans on Saturday. S.V. Sunil and Mandeep Singh had been a lethal attacking pair in 2010s, with the duo combining to score many important goals for India. They did it once again to give Gonastika the lead in the second minute. The Tufans and their fans' share of chances to score but were unable to find the killer touch as Gonastika ended the quarter with their lead intact. Team Gonastika climbed to 3rd place with win and will face Tamil Nadu Dragons on next Wednesday. Indian Army jawans and wrestler Sangram Singh participated in Fit India Sundays on cycle event from Major Dhyan Chand National Stadium in Delhi. The Fit India Sundays on Cycle initiative was launched by Sports Minister Mansukh Mandavia earlier in December to hold a campaign against drugs. With over 500 cyclists participating, the event aims to promote health, fitness and environmental awareness nationwide. The 82nd edition of Golden Globes is scheduled to take place on Sunday, kicking off the 2025 awards festivities. Films such as Wicked, The Brutalist and Emilia Perez will be competing for trophies and attention ahead of the Oscars. DD India's Diptanshu Kashyap reports.
The 2025 award season begins on Sunday with the 82nd Annual Golden Globe Awards, honoring the best in film and television. The Netflix film Emilia Perez leads the race with 10 nominations, followed by The Brutalist with 7. The Bear leads television series with 5 nods, followed by Shogun and Only Murders in the Building with 4 each. The nominations were announced on December 9th by actors Morris Chestnut and Mindy Kaling. This year's ceremony will be hosted for the first time by comedian Nikki Glaser.
I'm feeling really good about the job that I have to do, the material I've written, that my team has written. I feel like we're just in good shape. I'm really excited just to show these jokes to a massive audience. That's it's really like I've been working on this art project that I'm like, I can't wait to show people.
Some of the nominated films include A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Anora, Challengers, and The Substance. Timothy Chalamet, Selena Gomez, Ariana Grande, Angelina Jolie are among the stars vying for acting honours. The ceremony is especially significant for India as Payal Kapadia's All We Imagine as Light has received 2 nominations, including Best Director for Kapadia, marking the first nomination for an Indian production.
On our show, the nominees from television, from movies, come together. They're major stars, and it's like throwing a party at your home. Who would you like to have at your house if you could have anybody? And we've got them every year.
Winners of the Globes are chosen by 334 entertainment journalists from 85 countries. Winning a Globe can boost a film's chances in the run-up to the Academy Awards in March. Deeptanshu Kashyap's report for DD India.
Well, that's all for this edition of DD India Live, but do let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS. Scan the QR code on the screen to download.